So, Portugal, how are you feeling? Oh, you are so close to accepting this. And then I can grow Tortuga. So what I actually need to do is give these to Tortuga. This will reduce Tortuga's combat abilities as a march because they are about to grow a lot larger compared to me. Although, is that done by development or is that done by geographical? I think it must be development. It must be. And these provinces, actually, they are fairly good. They're all over 10. But the benefit to this is Tortuga still doesn't count as my country in terms of the goods produced modifiers. So I'm boosting my vassal doing this. Their trade value is already up. Local goods produced. Nearby merchant republics, trading cities or trade companies, plus 29%. I am said merchant republic. So I'm making them richer while they're making me richer. It's a splendid arrangement. So even though I can't have trade leagues or trading cities, this is actually far more powerful. I just need to have a bunch of vassals. Although I need to like maintain my strength over them. So I can't grow them too big. Alright, Puerto Rico has fallen. You are willing to... hang on. Oh, changed. Nope, you're not willing. Not a problem. I will continue grabbing some of your territories. Also, my heavies are over here, aren't they? Yes. So what I should do is park you right here. And thanks to the advanced attrition rules, we're actually not taking attrition from time at sea. That's just removed. Although, hang on. I kind of want the Admiral to stay here. We'll still no. Why can't I detach blockade? Oh, I can. If I need to reinforce, I'll reinforce. Detach, and then I'm going to sail back down here. I'm not going to blockade Castile. And then we'll merge you guys, because that's where their primary fleet is. So as long as we maintain a large fleet out here while blockading all of this, then that's good. That's also going to have increased our war score, and there we are. Peace. How much longer could we drag this on? We could get another 2 war score out of them, which is another 2 clicks. That's 60 ducats. Am I that greedy? No, I want these wars to end so I can start consolidating my holds. So we're going to take the 3 provinces for Tortuga. You're going to pay me a bunch of money. And I'm happy with that. Tortuga has grown too large to be efficiently administered as a march. They will lose their special march bonuses as a result. That's fine. What I really want them to have is money, which this will give them so that they can maintain a fleet. And now I can also begin preparing for the re-invasion of Castile. For which I just need to send these guys over here. And then you can start blockading their stuff. But Castile doesn't have a fleet. So we can just group these guys together. Detach, sail up here. Detach, sail over here. Detach, sail down here. And I'm at my admin limit again. This time I can actually dev you up, and I would like to do so. Something like that. Renew war taxes? No, not anymore. I wonder, is this going to work as a base to go after the Ivory Coast? Maybe I should have gone for Capo Verde. Yeah, especially as the Ivory Coast goes... Actually, Ivory Coast goes all the way up to here. Yeah, this is going to work as a base for the Ivory Coast. Oh, phenomenal. Okay, this is going to be an extremely important naval base right here. No scurvy for these pirates, no. We've invented the lemon and the lime. We know what citrus is. We eat a healthy, balanced diet of citrus and rum. Usually with the citrus squeezed into said rum. And I do think I should probably go and mothball at least half of these ships. So in fact, let's detach the damaged ones. All 5 of you. We'll send you to Jamaica to repair. You guys were supposed to join the transport fleet. And one of these days I will remember to do so. Meanwhile, transport fleet has in fact arrived. Hello, chaps. Okay, Castile's pretty close to accepting what I want. In fact, all I probably need to do is take Lugo. Right, and then the transports should really sit here so we can get the +1 to the naval blockade from the mortars. That's the whole point of me loading them on those ships. That's why I pay an entire extra ducat for its maintenance. Careening. It is time once again to careen the ships. This arduous process requires the crews to drag the ships onto secure beach at high tide and safely lower them onto their sides to expose the hull for repairs. It is a task dreaded by every pirate, not only because of the risk the damage to the ship and the injury to the crew is high, but because the back-breaking labour they must perform to see the job done right. Several advocates amongst the crew feel that a more relaxed approach should be taken to careening, despite the captain's insistence that failing to make the proper repairs will cause far more problems down the line. So we get ship durability if we do the careening. Or we get morale of navies, but lose durability if we don't. No, I definitely want the durability for the next 10 years. Captains gains influence, that's fine. Right, you should really accept this now. Yep, and money. See, you should have accepted this years ago. All you've done is caused yourselves untold amounts of pain. Right. All the ships can go home. And then we can mothball the heavies, which is really what I was waiting to do. Because that is going to save me a lot of money. Select one of you. Because if you have a ship or a fleet already collected, if you have a fleet already selected, hold down shift and then select everyone, you'll select the fleets instead of the armies. And then that way we can just bring all the heavies back home, where they can start to mothball. And that should save me incredible amounts of money. Okay, so we have taken loads and loads of gold provinces. We're still doing trade, that's fine. We do need to do some conversions, but first of all we need to make these guys cores. Reducing this costs dip low. No, I'm going to wait. That's a fair amount of war exhaustion. That war exhaustion increases the cost of coring by quite a lot. That's 25% increase in coring costs, so we'll wait. I'm not in a hurry. And that is also going to result in 5.26 ducats in gold income. Did I get the islands? I did. They're right there. Oh, and because this is all owned by Castile, it's all going to be reformed. Yes! Castile is the major reformed power in this game. Or was. Should probably say was. Right, let's send you home and start your drilling. Well, actually, I'm probably going to send you here. Because you're going to have to deal with revolts on this side. Definitely. And I need another rival. Florida, Portuguese, Mexico, 13 colonies. I think probably Portuguese, Mexico. So we'll need to pick a few fights with the colonies at some point. Especially as these bad boys are getting fairly large. Okay, so you guys have all arrived home. Mothball group. And that should put me in the green. Despite the fact that I'm over my force limit. Also, my force limit is going to go up because we've just taken a bunch more territory. So, we're quite far over the force limit right now. And that's with Maritime, which is a plus 50%. And with the Pirates, which also give another 50%. I think what that's telling me is I really need to take more coastal provinces. .24 heavies is also quite a few. Let's get rid of some of those. First of all, are you all war galleons? Yes. Where is the split up fleet? Wait, the two-decker is saying it's... No, wrong way around, buddy. The two-decker is the most modern ship I have. So let's go down to 20 heavies. That's... No. No, 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 no. I'm not losing my, my prize. There we are. Much better. Much better. Two Floridas and neither own Florida. Well, Florida owns a bit of Florida, but Floride, yeah, you're right, doesn't. Alright, so forts. That's the other thing that we do need to think about. So you're protecting those two, you're protecting these. That means that Telo Lapan doesn't have one and does need one. I know we need to core you, but I'm going to fortify you first. Also, we have a couple of places with edicts right now, and those could be turned off. In fact, you should be on trade power, as these two are. Good. Right, and we're also going to need two forts down here, because I absolutely 100% need to hold on to those. Once they're cored, we will have range to the Ivory Coast. And at that point, the piracy can really begin. Because we'll start pirating Sevilla, we'll start protecting trade in the Ivory Coast to push the trade into the Caribbean instead of Sevilla. You were in lucky mode. What did you miss? Peace deal with Portugal, peace deal with Castile. Both of which were positive in my favour. Got everything I wanted out of them. I must admit, I was worried when Portugal declared that war. I was very worried. Although Port Royal does not have the seafaring culture of many coastal nations, we nevertheless take the pride in the short strip of land that provides us with access to the sea. The Jamaican coast provides many opportunities and draws many hopeful young visitors looking for a new life. Gain manpower in Belize, lose it in Tepancak. Or gain diplo power. That's basically paying 156 ducats for a manpower. Yeah, do it. I also gained a bunch of prestige out of that, which is also going to be boosting my trade abilities, which is very nice. And actually, not to mention, my trade has also gone up by 40%, plus all the ships that I have. Why are there two random transports here? Let's go add them to the transport fleet, because this army really does need to grow. Okay, you start drilling. And we'll start adding some more troops. I want to get you up to 10 guns. Short strip of land. It's an island. Yeah, I think it means just because the number of coastal provinces I have compared to inland is now actually less. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coastals, 6, 7 coastals. Actually, no, we do have more coastal. It's 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't know what on earth they were on about. That's weird. Bible translated. A priest in Chactamal has translated the Bible into our language and has started to distribute copies of it to nearby villages in Belize. So the Pope doesn't like us. Oh, sorry, the Pope likes us or the Pope doesn't like us? Well, screw the Pope, I don't care. We're reformed. Trade. Yep, that's still good. So why am I losing fervour here? Just because of the fervent focus on trade, and I don't have prestige maxed out. Have they changed the way that fervour works? Because I could have sworn you used to be able to always have one running and still gain a bit of fervour. Oh no, it's because of my stability, that's why. Yes, you could do that. My Republican tradition's up to 88, so stability still costs 22%, for goodness sake. Ah! Now we're only 2 years away from the next technology. But that's fine. Let's speed for this because we are now just in recovery mode. War exhaustion goes down every month. Prices go down every month. We will need to keep an eye on the rebels though. Lawrence de Graaf costs nothing to re-elect, so we shall re-elect him. He becomes a 3-5-6. And we could also get offensive ideas, but only being 2 years away, I don't think we're going to bother. What we should do, however, is invest in admin points. And I also want to get Slapanek up to level 10. Let's do that as soon as possible. I know I don't want to spend these points right now, but I also do. Okay, Slapanek's castle is done, so both of my coasts here are now fortified. We just need the castle here. And need to wait for these costs to come down so we can start quarrying everything. And in fact, that's going to put a big dent in my admin points. Okay, that's fine. Wichita Trade League has collapsed. How's HRE doing? Austria's still in charge. Although Burgundy's putting in a pretty good showing. Burgundy's still alive and I think has actually grown a bit. I was worried for their health for a while there. You guys have been saying a lot about the European blobs, but these blobs have actually been maintaining a status quo. They have not grown very much in the last 100 years. Like Aragon I don't think's gained any territory. France certainly hasn't. Burgundy's grown a little bit. The Netherlands has consolidated. Austria and Bohemia have just been the same. Russia has blocked the Commonwealth and Scandinavia's just Scandinaviaing. Although Scandinavia still has no colonies. Oh yes, they do. They're going for India. Vijayanagar has taken over most of India at this point. Aragon still has their token presence in India. And then the Glorious Knights, who I think are actually expanding. Did Russia form? No? No, I don't want to start converting anyone until we have actually caught them. Because it's a heck of a lot cheaper. Because once they're caught, I can state them. Once they're stated, then they are cheaper. We could, however, invest some of our money... Hang on. We took no loans during that entire war. Oh, amazing. Even with the massive amounts of money we were losing. There is going to be a new institution in 15 years, but actually I'm feeling pretty good about our level of institution-ness. Let's go double check the marketplaces. I don't think you're going to benefit me at all. That will, however. Oh, stock exchanges. Yeah, we're going to want to get those in my Caribbean provinces. That is a pretty big rush of this stage of the game. Oh crap! No, actually that's a good thing. If you upgrade it. Yeah, I kind of meant to keep Zui for myself. Barney too. Because I want to keep all of the centers of trade. I might need to demand that one from you, sorry. Well, they are giving me all of their trade. Oh, maybe I can upgrade Vassal Centre of Trades. In which case that'll do it, because they're giving me all of their trade already. Their army and their navy doesn't seem to have grown at all, though, which is a little disappointing. Well, maybe it's because they're still quarrying and everything. It did take them a long time to get up to speed last time. How are we doing with war exhaustion? Still ticking down. And tech. Next year. 6 months. So we're not going to be able to make it straight away with the Diplotech, and in fact we've got heavy frigates already. That's going to cost me a lot to upgrade. A number of hostile publications have begun to circulate in the cities of Port Royal. Anonymous, yet very critical authors claim that the government is autocratic and demand both a written constitution and a parliament from where various parts of the country can be represented. So Havana and Tlacopan start demanding representation. Both of those are super... Well, actually, Tlacopan isn't. But Havana is very stable, so I'm happy to do that. I am also really tempted... Ah, yes, I can't drop autonomy. Never mind. Core cost still 15% higher. It's an offer, but I can refuse, and I shall. So there. Yeah, we have Castellan rebels in Tenerife and Gran Canaria. Foreign quarter in Acapulco. For a long time, foreign merchants have been settling in Acapulco to better conduct trade with our country. Lately, however, the intensified activity of Cacapal in Diu quarter has grown into a city of its own. Tapanek is that one. So, dev cost, goods produced, or trade power. This is in the Mexico node, which I do need to control. But goods produced, I think, translates into more gold production. And gold is good. Yep, definitely. Horned Panda, got to run, but cheer 100 for the grog. Thank you very much for the bits there, Horned Panda. Grog will definitely be earned. And it's at this point where I feel like making a reference to Critical Role. So there you go, a reference to Critical Role. Alright, stock exchanges are done. Trade depot, done. Let's continue with the trade. And we do need to tech up. 1, 2. We still need to wait for the Diplo tech, which is unfortunate because that's going to lose me 20% trade efficiency. Alright, so line infantry, Caroline infantry, or Grenzer infantry. I would like to raid. That's good. I like that. I would like to raid. Line infantry is fire resist, fire damage. Grenzer infantry is the most defensive of all of those. Caroline infantry is the most offensive. Caroline does not come with any... Well, comes with less fire resist. The morale is the same on all of them. Morale usually for me is the most important thing. Morale is equal, so this is really between who we're going to be fighting against. So Caroline infantry... Sorry, Grenzer infantry or Caroline. Either of those would be good against natives. Line infantry would be the best against Europeans. Now, historically, manpower has been a bit of a problem for me. Which would make the best choice Grenzer. But they also do the least damage. Well, I haven't been winning my battles through attrition. I've been winning them just by morale. So, Grenzer. And that's a castle done. We're down to 5%. So, all of my Mexican provinces are now covered by at least one castle, which is great. So now we need to get Gran Canaria in a similar position. So Gran Canaria is going to rise up soon. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to beef up the autonomy in both of these. That should resolve some of that problem. And I'm also going to invest in forts for both of these. I should really have done that earlier. And then probably dockyards for repairs. Okay, Gallop Cavalry. I mean, it's the same kind of question. Arme Blanche definitely does the most damage. And also does the most morale damage, but has the least morale resist. I'm saying all of this, and I don't actually have cavalry, so it's less of an issue. Dragoons are the most defensive. That would give us some more shock resist. So if we're up against, like, Poland, Lithuania, you probably want to use Dragoons because they will resist some of the damage done by their cavalry. Because cavalry is primarily shock damage. Latin Hussars give you fire resist. So Hussars are what you want to use against someone with lots of fire ability, like some of the Japanese with lots of infantry upgrades in Prussia. If you're fighting against Prussia, you probably want Hussars. But against everyone else, Arme Blanche, just because that amount of shock damage done is phenomenal. And also the morale damage, but they resist morale less too. Hussars would also be good against Sweden for the same reason. But I'm going to go Arme Blanche. I'm not really expecting to be focusing on just one or two cavalry nations. Not here, not in the New World. With Cav, I always go for the maximum shock pips. If it doesn't do shock damage, it's not worth having. True, unless you are focusing lots of cavalry. I mean, if you're having just like a regular cavalry, 2 units per army, 4 at maximum, then sure, Arme Blanche is almost always the best pick. But if you're like Poland, Lithuania, where you're trying to maximize the amount of cavalry, then your choice matters a bit more. Or if you need that extra fire resist because of manpower issues against someone like Prussia who's just going to decimate your lines before you can even get to them. Because remember, fire round comes first. Okay, here comes the Diplotech. And with that, the heavy frigates. I don't think I want to get heavy frigates just yet, though. Right. All the things are getting fortified. And here we are, Imperialism and Nationalism CVs. Okay. And it's at this point where the pirates really start to scale, because we can declare war on anything in the world. While before we were very much limited by what we had adjacencies to. We're not anymore.